What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 294. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
X marks the spot.
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
Yo.
Adam Vale,
Uncle Phil in the house.
Brian Manjoma.
When did Chris get here?
Yeah, Chris Seeley. Yeah, he's been here, man. And we welcome back, it's been a very long time, Gamertag Radio's own Mr. Danny Peña.
Yo, Tony, thanks for the invite, man. I'm excited to talk about everything that happened today, man. Today was a good day.
Yeah, it was been crazy. But before we get to that, we got to catch up with you, man. What has been going on in your world, man? It's been a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been busy. You know, I thought because of COVID, things was going to slow down, but I guess not, man. I've been doing a lot of side projects remotely, and I have to go to different studios here in New York to work on a couple of projects. And yeah, that and plus Gamertag Radio, it's just been nonstop, man. And the good thing about this summer, we've been releasing a lot more content because there's no E3. Usually when we go to E3, we release like 50-something episodes in like in 6 days, right? But now, because there's no E3, we've been expanding, putting like 4 episodes here and there, 5 episodes a week here and there, you know, all summer long, man. Because think about it. Since May, there's been nonstop announcements, man. Nonstop. Summer Game Festival, right? With Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Xbox been announcing stuff. Sony been announcing stuff, and Nintendo been here and there announcing not much, but it's content, and plus third-party companies, man. So yeah, that's what we've been doing nonstop, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're busy, but obviously today we're going to be talking about Xbox. Very big show. This is a show we've been waiting for a long time. I know you've been excited. You've been talking about it, tweeting about it. Everybody here's excited about it. So, yeah, what we're going to do, like we usually do on Throwdown, we're going to run down through every game they announced and give our thoughts on it. And we're going to start with the big one, people. Halo Infinite was shown, full gameplay and all that. It's pretty dope. And Danny, why don't you start us off, man? What do you think of it?
All right, I'm going to start out with this because you have to picture this back in the original Xbox days when, you know, GameCube was coming out, PlayStation was on top, right? Early 2001. I remember hearing that Xbox was going to be in town. They were going to start promoting, you know, their new console. And I'm like, Nintendo's going to destroy Xbox, man, whatever, right? So I go to the event. I got to play Halo for the first time. And I was like, wow, this is a game changer. This is a game changer. I'm used to GoldenEye and Perfect Dark with 1 analog stick, 2 analog sticks, but this one's huge, right? I felt that vibe seeing the gameplay trailer for this. Like, it reminded me of that moment playing Halo for the first time. Look, Halo 3 to me was best one, and also Halo Reach. Halo 4 and 5 was okay, was whatever. But this took it back, man, to the original Halo, man.
What was it that did that?
That what?
What brought you back to this point? Because I know what you're talking about from the home, but what was it that triggered that for you for this one?
Yeah, for me it was the presentation. Like, okay, they crashed to the planet, right? The ring. That reminded me of that. The environment reminded me of that, and also just it felt like Master Chief walking to this area for the first time and seeing the enemies, and it just brought back a lot of those memories, man. And let me tell you, man, the grappling hook, game changer for Halo. I think that's gonna change a lot of things to grab items from different places, attack enemies, bring them to you. I just loved it so much, man. Loved it. The only thing that I wish they would have showed a little bit more too of just of Cortana, because they really didn't play anything from the gameplay. They only showed like a video before that. But I loved them, and the music sounded iconic. I was getting goosebumps watching the whole thing, man. I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. And it was important to start the show because the original Halo was the reason why Xbox got known. Because if it wasn't for that game, Xbox would have been down. Nobody would have bought that system, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's been 19 years. 19 years since Xbox planning to release a new console with Halo. The last time was in the original Xbox. So this was a game changer, but the only difference is you don't need to have the new console in order for you to experience this. You could have your OG Xbox One that looks like a microwave. You could have that.
Danny, and you probably remember when when they launched it in New York. Remember when Bill Gates and 42nd Street all had the X logo
Yeah,
all over the front? I remember that blew me away because I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, Halo. And I remember when they were talking about the launch, but when I saw that lit up, I'm like, shit, this is a big deal. This is gonna happen.
yeah. And believe it or not, I was there at Toys
You
R
went
Us.
to? All
Yeah,
right.
I was actually playing games with Bill Gates. Like I came on the news and
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit,
But
R.I.P. that Toys R Us, man. I missed that shit.
yeah, I missed Toys R Us. That was iconic. But
Yeah.
dude, like that. Look, man, I went online to see what people were saying about the showcase, and I get it. Look, dude, not everybody's gonna be fans of Xbox. Not everybody's gonna be fans of PlayStation or Nintendo. But as a gamer, today was a big day because we have so many different options now, man. If you want to play Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo, man, like competition is good for us, man. You know what I'm saying? And people are with this whole brand loyalty. Like, how's that helping
Yeah, that
our
don't
community? You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so here's one question for you because it's all linked while you're still talking about Halo.
Yeah.
You know that's going to be on xCloud. Do you see yourself playing? Because I mean, I do, and I was trying to tell the other guys, and we had this whole discussion. But do you see yourself as a selling point for you to play Halo on the go, on a tablet or on a phone or something?
All right. So before pre-COVID, I was always traveling a lot.
Mhm.
So right before, actually, I met Tony in San Francisco. So before I flew to San Francisco and I got to see Tony and my crew over there, I had.
By the way, that wasn't the first time Danny and I met, just in case you guys thought otherwise. Because you said that's where we met in San Francisco. Like, we hung out this year in San Francisco, but we've known each other forever.
You're too.
Yeah, oh shit, then we met this year, son.
This was the first time actually hanging out in San Francisco.
That's right. Yeah, that was the first time. Yo, and Danny, those hills, bro. That's a whole other story, friend.
That's a whole other story. But believe it or not, I was playing Gears of War a lot, and I was playing a couple other games. I connected with my console, and I started playing my game that I had saved. Also, I tried the servers from Project xCloud, games that I don't have and is available there, and I was testing it out at LaGuardia Airport for 2 hours. Smooth, no issues, anything like that. So think of it as like, to me, playing Nintendo Switch on the go. There's going to be moments that I want to continue my game that is saved, and I'll play somewhere else, and I could do that. It's optional. It's not like Google Stadia. Like it's like forced. You have to buy the game, and no, this one I had bought my games, and it's available there on the device. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll see it. I'll play my games like that, man, on the go. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. Now, if I have a good connection, if it's a crappy connection, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, you don't want that. But I do want to jump back, about Halo, because obviously, like, I don't have a big history with Halo, but I did, get to see it back in the day, and I played it for the first time fully last year. And Danny, I got the same feel. Like that Halo feel. Like, to me, Halo is all about crashing on that Halo and seeing the Halo for the first time. Exact same feel. So I'm like, okay, I see what they're going for. And even with the image they released yesterday of Master Chief on the planet, I'm like, yo, this is Combat Evolved. This is that totally that feel. But this obviously looks better. There's a lot of stuff in that grappling hook. It reminded me of the grappling hook from Doom during the stream. I was like, yo, where did I see that before? Doom Eternal has the same kind of grappling hook. It's dope, man. Go ahead.
So very quick before you change this is something very important.
Yeah.
When we go to these events and they show games on stage during the E3 press conference, they only show a portion of it for the audience that are watching the stream, right? But then the media get to see more stuff that they didn't show at the press conference, right? So tomorrow we have a meeting with 343 Industries. Like they're Chris Lee, the studio head of 343, he's going to do a whole presentation about Halo, stuff that we probably don't know, that didn't show from the trailer that they showed today. And we're going to have questions to ask him, about the game. So I'm excited. I'm curious about a couple of the things that I want to ask. But yeah, man, I think it's good, man. It's going to be a great game, man. And hey, you didn't have to buy the game. It's going to be on Game Pass. So it's it's good.
There's no excuse. What about the rest of you guys? What do you think of Halo? Carlos, what about you? You're Mr. Halo right here, man. What do you think?
It looks good. I do agree with the grappling hook. The grappling hook looks pretty sick. I don't know if he's Hispanic like we are. That one guy in the ship. That dude is pretty funny. It's
hilarious.
Yeah, like what you got? Is it a buddy cop kind of game now? So Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like how they showcased all the weapons in the trailer. Um, yeah, I also agree with the whole sentiment that it has that whole Halo One Combat Evolve feel. I'm just curious to know how all of the open world, like Halo. Whenever you play a Halo campaign, there's always going to be open areas. Like every level you load, it's like I'm gonna fly my ghost to one point to the other. It's like kind of like this huge open world, or I'm riding on top of a scarab, or like or a banshee. Um, so now this looks like this is just completely an open world, like the whole thing, and you're just going to different points in the map to do certain missions. And I'm wondering if that is how that is gonna work, because we didn't really see much of that. There was just like Master Chief, shooting some people from point A to point B. But I'm just wondering how the story progresses, how it's gonna work. A lot of people have been talking that this could potentially be more like a Destiny situation, and if it is a Destiny situation, then that's something that I'm not a Destiny fan. I played both of them. So that's something that I wouldn't subscribe to, but I just hope that it does its own thing with the open world.
You know what? You have a great point on that, because how we were entering Aaron Greenberg today, and there's something that not Aaron, but Paris noticed during the presentation, right? So if you think about all the games that they show, especially first party of games that they're bringing back, that's brand new. So let's go with Halo Infinite. Then it was Forza. Then it was Fable. What was the whole thing that was common out of all those games? There was no number. There was no Halo whatever 6 and Forza 9. Like it was just Halo Infinite, Forza Motorsport, and Fable. The reason is because of the Game Pass subscription. This will be an easier way now for developers to start adding content and new stories and new experiences without creating a whole new game. Think of it as, like you said, like Destiny. Now there's going to be a lot of new content there now, and it's going to be totally free. You don't have to buy an expansion because it's part of. It's sorry, that's like crazy background noise, but it's part of Xbox Game Pass. So it's going to be easier for the developers to start developing new type of experiences and just update a game and just have it available for free for everybody that's part of the service. So think of it as Halo could last 4 years or even 5 years with just so much content they could add easily. Like think of it as like Fortnite. The world has been changing. It doesn't make sense for companies to release a Halo 9, a Halo 10. We don't need that anymore, man.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I guess the thing for me, and maybe I'm just old fashioned, kind of like a lot of us in the show, but it's like I want the story that they're presenting to be complete. I want Halo Infinite story to be the story that I want to leave until 20 years from now, when Halo Infinite 10 or whatever it's called back in 20 years. Like I want to know that's Halo Infinite story. I played all the Halos. Reach is has a epic story. Halo 3, Halo 2, all of them have pretty good stories, and you remember those stories. But when I play Halo Infinite, what I don't want is, hey, I played the first part of the story, and it's like 2 years from now, 1 year from now, it's like, oh, there's an expansion, and there's like 5 years from now, there's another expansion. Oh, but you didn't play the third expansion, so you don't really remember the story as it is. And that's the kind of part, and that's what I'm talking about being old-fashioned, because I understand that the industry as a whole is kind of moving towards that aspect where it's expansions and sort of a games as a service kind of thing, where they just expand through the years and keep going and keep those games alive for a long time. So yeah, that's something that kind of worries me.
Yeah, hopefully that won't be the case, though. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, we're afraid of change, man, and we're not used to seeing these new things from companies. You're like, you freak out, like, wait a minute, this is it, like remember when everybody was adding. Yeah, go ahead.
The thing is about all of this, it's like, what about a technical advancement? If we're just going to kind of serve up the same 20-year-old game or 10-year-old game, what is there to really look forward to? What is it, just content? I mean, to be honest, I don't want to just continuously be playing the equivalent of World of Warcraft, the crappy looking game from 20 years ago. You know, if this is the future, I mean, I personally don't think and what yeah, is that what we're going to be looking forward to? I don't know. It just seems a little. It just seems a little. I don't want to say it's lazy, but I want to say at the same time is it just means that all they need to do is just put a little bit of sprinkle a little bit of a sazon on it and then call it a day. You know, that's my only worry about it.
Yeah. No, and I get it, but remember too. I mean, like 343 have been working over 5 years on this game, man. You know, so we're going to see new experiences. The graphic looks phenomenal. Like, look, man, people were complaining because of the stream. It was what, 720, 1080.
Yeah, it was
right?
mad low. Yeah,
it was very low. And you look at it like, oh, this doesn't look great. Like, you know, people were saying that online. But there is a 4K version, and it looks totally different than the one that I had on the stream.
I personally, I didn't actually think it looked very good at all, to be honest. I noticed there was a lot of pop-in happening in the game. I noticed that like when it went to the map, I know this is an early version, but I noticed when it went into the map, all the textures you could see them streaming in. And I mean, this generation we're supposedly in the world like, okay, we can stream in everything really, really fast. I mean, it looks great, 60 frames per second, but I don't know. It didn't seem like it just looked like an extent. I mean, maybe that was the point, to make it look as much like the original Halo as possible.
That's the whole.
Wait, are you a fan of the original Halo, Emilio?
I mean, I like the original Halo, but at the same time, it's like it didn't seem like it was doing anything that was other than having the idea of essentially taking Halo and making it a giant open world. I don't know. It didn't seem. I feel like when they show you those trailers in the beginning and they show you all this really cool looking, like, you know, obviously we know they're CG, but how come games don't look like that? Like I'm expecting that, like, okay, we're next generation now. We're gonna look as close to those cinematic things as possible. Those things that they added to Halo 1 and all that stuff. But then we kind of come back and it just sort of looks like the same old stuff. It's like, eh. I mean, I would just say, I think in this situation, it's more I just chalked it up as like, okay, maybe it's just not the looks, maybe it's just the gameplay, and maybe that's the thing that really is mattering in this sort of situation. But that's just me.
No, the reason why I asked you if you like the original Halo, when Paris went to E3 in 2001 and he got to play Halo at E3, he said the demo was trash. He was like,
wow.
It was bad. It was buggy.
Yeah.
Even Phil Spencer said that on our show. Like, he started laughing. He's like, yeah, it was very buggy. That was a disaster. Halo at E3 in 2001.
But I feel like in general, whenever you're going to one of those shows, you kind of like, it's already. I mean, granted, nowadays people don't really understand this, but if you're going to something like behind closed doors, or if you're playing on the show floor, that's usually expected to be kind of an unfinished version of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with this. This is unfinished.
Well, it's only a few months away. It has to be close to final.
I mean, yeah, that was the only thing. Like, that was the stuff that I sort of saw, and I was just like, I mean, again, I'm not seeing anything that says next generation to me in this.
Well, Manny, that's the whole dichotomy of this whole press conference, and I think that's why it's so polarizing. We saw a bunch of games, and this is supposed to be, and at least for me, this was supposed to be the press conference that got me hyped up to buy the Series X. But the way I took it is, this is the press conference to get me hyped for Game Pass. And if a person is looking at this press conference to be like, what's next generation going to look like? What is something that we can look forward to that can get us excited in terms, of the logical step to pay potentially $500 for a new system, because Lockhart hasn't been announced yet. So that's what this conference was supposed to do for a lot of people. And yeah, so if someone doesn't see, I hear an echo. I don't know.
Who's echoing?
Is it just me?
I think it's just you, man. Everything's fine here, man.
I don't hear it. Yeah, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad then.
Yeah, you good.
Then then it just depends on what you were looking for this conference. If you were looking for the next generation, and I talked about this in the PS5 press conference, I wasn't too impressed in terms of them trying to sell me a $500 console. I was not impressed, and it didn't really move the needle for me. The same thing for this conference, and the thing that this conference did for me is just, and I mean, I've said this since day one, but Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. I think that's what I got from all of this, but I didn't get the Series X day one.
But what is here's that people also have to understand. What is next gen? Is it graphics? Because I feel everybody's just talking about next gen as graphics. To me, Nintendo Switch, not powerful. That to me is next gen. You know why? Because it was a game changer. It was something new, something different than no other companies is doing. It's the same thing with what's going on with Xbox. To me, it's next gen because it's not right now for launch. It's not like wow, mind blown. The graphics is going to be amazing, but it's next gen because they're doing something different that other companies are not doing. That to me is next gen, not graphics. You know what I'm saying?
Why tout 12 teraflops? Why tout the architecture, the SSD, and all of that if you're not going to showcase that? Because that's
long term. That's long term. This is launch. Same thing with PS5. You're not impressed with that right now. But look, think of it as like when PS3 came out. Dude, the games that launched for that system was trash.
Booty.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Booty.
I don't disagree with that.
You get,
but I mean,
let Danny finish. Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like Uncharted, God of War, like PlayStation 3. You're like, whoa, but it was later. Look, man, right now it's early, and sorry for the crazy fireworks in the background, but
yeah.
But the thing is that this is just an introduction of the potential we're going to see in the future. Right now, this is early, man. This is early. Give it 2-3 years for both systems, for PlayStation and Xbox, and you're going to see a totally different thing, man.
I feel like I feel like everything has a showcase. I mean, we go back to our, to this current generation. There was at least something in the beginning that sort of said, okay, this is what this generation of things look like. Despite what you say about, like Killzone, Shadowfall, and Knack, it showed you exactly what it was. Even for Xbox, there were those things that sort of showed you what you were in for. And I just feel like we're not sort of seeing that. We're sort of seeing like a slightly shinier version of what we've gotten this generation, and that's the sort of disappointing part of it. I know that these guys are doing new things, but at the same time, it's like you look at the Switch. The Switch is not the Switch. As cool as the Switch is, it literally is doing what everybody thought the Nintendo the Nintendo Wii U was supposed to do.
It also brought back the Turbo Graphics 16, what they did with the Turbo Express. You take the same cartridge from your console and you take it on the go, and it was mobile, and just doing that in current gen.
Damn, Xbox don't like me saying that shit.
Yeah, you cut out at a good point though. But it was like a good point. Yeah.
You know what? It was a game changer for this generation. Out of all the games, it was Fortnite, man.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Why all these companies are making changes, doing crossplay, making available for all different devices, because they got to see that's a better way for them to make money, man. So Xbox is thinking about that, and believe it or not, PlayStation is going to go to that route too.
There is no secret that that's the future for what Microsoft's strong suit is software. Oh shit, are we closing up again?
Well, you're good, man. Keep going.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Yeah, Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft's the strong suit is software. So if I could definitely see a future with there actually not being an actual Xbox at all, which makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, man. Danny, I want to stick on something you said because I find it kind of interesting myself that your terminology of what constitutes next gen for you is interesting. Like, to me, you already know what my definition is. Kind of the classic one. It's like graphics look better. That's next generation. But I could see, I could see where you're coming from, saying, okay, this handheld that is also a console is next gen. This Game Pass stuff is next gen. Do you think maybe we need to start changing the way we think about some of these things that we've always like thought of as like written in stone? You know.
Yes, because you know what it is? We're still stuck in this whole old school way, man. Old school mentality. What was one of the first things I said to you a couple months ago, Tony, when we got to see Xbox Series X and there was rumors about PlayStation 5 coming up pretty soon, like the reveal? I said to you, yo, this generation, forget about the sales. That shit doesn't even gonna exist anymore, man. Yeah, you're gonna see PlayStation 5 #1 selling like crazy, right? But if Xbox is getting more subscribers on Game Pass and they're making tons of money, who gives a fuck about being #1 about selling consoles, man? Because now they're making money in different ways, not just selling the console or just not selling the games. Now you just subscribe and they're making money with that too, man. 10 million people are subscribed to Game Pass, and there's going to be more now with all these announcements like Dragon Quest, which is freaking huge, available for Game Pass. All the games that they announced today, 60 minutes worth of content of games, all Game Pass day one. So that to me is going to be the future. We all, as gamers, we have to get used to that, man. We got to stop the old school mentality about sales and power. It's beyond that now, man. It's beyond that. That's why I brought that up.
But the power is not even us touting it. It's what the developers are. That's what Uncle Phil and everybody is telling us. They're the ones pushing the flops up. We wouldn't know what's inside. We wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, they could have literally just sold. Could have sold you just last year's Xbox. You know, the Xbox, the Pro, and just threw that at you and said, "Okay, this is the new one."
Like what I want to see, and what I think.
If we're not talking, I mean, because again, it's like we're not talking. Like if it's not about power, and obviously this Nintendo Switch shows that, but again, Nintendo's products always show that. It's never really about power. It's actually really about the games. But at the same time, you can actually see a general difference between a Wii U game and a Nintendo Switch game. And I just feel like this one is just like I just feel like we're gonna run into an age where we're essentially just gonna we're not gonna really just see advancements. We're just gonna see we're gonna sprinkle some adobo and some sazon on it and call it a day, and then that's it. You know.
See, with this, what I was hoping for was more of Halo Forge, but in the game. If you ever played Halo Forge, when they have these big battles, that was a big brawls. You had like 50 on 50. It was ridiculous. You know, everyone's running around, things are happening, explosions, chaos. That's what I was hoping for. Because I'm like, before all this processing power, before all the bells and whistles and no load time, this is going to be massive. Yes, it's a beautiful world. I figure it's going to be open world with the whole infinite thing. We saw that. And maybe there is more to come. But right now, when we like you said, you saw with Danny is like, oh, you got that vibe from Halo 1. And I saw that too, but that's not what I'm expecting for a next gen one. I was expecting when that door opens up, almost like a Call of Duty moment. You know, like storming the beach over in Normandy, just chaos going on, people shooting, fighting, all stuff. They were hinting before that it's sort of like what Carlos was saying, where Destiny vibe, where you'll have multiple players coming into the world. We definitely know that it's still a 4-player co-op. Well, I was hoping to see another ship drop boom, and like what they showed with the person in the face and saying, hey, you are a Spartan, that was going to happen. You could play alongside Master Chief. You don't have to be Master Chief. You know, he got in the Mongols. Okay, I was hoping to see another Mongol show up from another angle. And I wanted something epic. That's what I was looking forward to. But instead, I got a lot of Halo. And I guess that's okay if that's all people want. Yeah, okay, you get the good feels again. All right, that's fine. It doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. There's still plenty of stuff that we haven't seen that we don't know. But man, I was really hoping for something epic, an epic battle. It was just going to a camp, shoot, 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 get on the Mongols, go down, shoot, 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 grappling hook. Okay, that's cool. Shoot, 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 cutscene, big ugly monster dude telling me he's going to kick my ass. All right. Fine, but I wanted something epic. I wanted a Forge. Those are the things that I used to love watching when I wasn't even making any maps or playing. I was just jumping into those battles. And I'm like, man, one day we'll have the power to make this a reality for a real game experience. You know, we see it with Call of Duty doing it with Warzone. Imagine if something like that happened in the Halo universe. That would be awesome.
Well, hold on a second. Wasn't Halo Infinite? I consider it a generation closer for this gen. It's an Xbox One game that's gonna be cross-generational. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's pretty much
understand
it.
where these expectations are coming from for
Yeah,
all this
yeah.
high fidelity and
Well, they-
giant.
No,
They
no, no,
pushed
no.
it. No, they pushed
I
it. No,
gotta correct Chris. They explicitly said this was built from the ground up.
yeah, it's a new engine. Everything is new for the Series X. This is not built on any of the older Halo.
It's a short to look with. I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah, I mean, didn't it start like? I mean, Halo Infinite was advertised well before they started promoting Series X. So
But they said they've been working on it, knowing the architecture for Series X. That's where the 5 years come in. They already knew that what they were making was not going to be
But-
full up to par for the
Well,
current gen.
I'll defend a little bit because I think that the expectations are a little high, and there's nothing to say that they couldn't implement Forge and these things later on
Yeah.
Series X. But like you have to give them a chance. This was they have to show several things in a showcase. This can't be the Halo showcase, right? It's the Xbox showcase. So
It's only
they
Halo.
give a little time. But what do Halo fans want? And I think they showed enough where you had the feel of like, hey, you remember what you love about Halo? Let's show them that, right? And they hit all those points. Then later on they'll expand it, and then it's like, oh, but what else do people love? They love the multiplayer, right? And then they'll bring all that in afterwards. So everything is a little taste, and then they go into it. I mean, at least you saw gameplay. Like, I mean, State of Decay was a cutscene, and Fable.
They always do that with State. I knew that was State of Decay. Once they showed the woman screaming, I was like, oh,
Yeah, we'll get to the State of Decay real quick. Oh, Danny, I saw you over there. You wanted to say something real quick?
Yeah, this is very important because, look, marketing, they do this. They show enough, save the rest for next time, for like the next press conference that they have. You can't show everything today because what they're going to show for August and then September and then October, right before the console comes out, they need to save certain parts because honestly, we have no idea about the multiplayer. We don't have no idea what type of new stuff is in there. We have no idea. Here's another thing I want to mention is that Perfect Dark was supposed to be announced at this showcase. They saved that shit for August. You know why? Because Sony has stuff also saved up for August. Because both companies need to show the next big game that's coming out right before they make the announcement, okay, the release date and the price. Because if they don't have those games and they just say, oh yeah, PlayStation comes out this day and price, why are you gonna pre-order those consoles for what?
That's the comment that we had before. It's like, okay, you know, a lot of these games don't have, you know, some of them have dates on them, and some it's like, okay, so what are we going to be playing on launch? Spider-Man, and even Spider-Man is not even like confirmed. It says launch window. It just says launch window, right?
No, they said holiday. They said holiday. Yeah.
They say holiday, but
they don't say at launch. Yeah, they don't say at launch. They just say holiday, that window. So when that comes out, they say it's going to be in stores next year.
Go ahead, Danny.
I'm not gonna say where I got this information, but that game was supposed to be for PlayStation 4.
Well, yeah, of course it was.
That was not a PlayStation 5 game. It's smart saving that game to put in a PlayStation 5 because Spider-Man sold a lot, and that was crazy for Sony. Like, that's a whole new audience will buy that one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did say
they
that.
advertised it in a way where it made people think this was like a brand new Spider-Man game, and it's like, you know, people were talking like, oh.
Well, the thing about it is that I definitely think it was supposed to be 4, but I think the reason why they locked it down is because they probably don't have anything to sit there. They don't have anything.
Yo, Danny, don't that sound familiar, bro? That's the same conversation we had, you know?
Emilio, if we don't see another game in August from Sony, that's when you know, okay, they don't have anything. Maybe they're going to have stuff in spring. But for launch, it might be dry.
I think launches. I think at this point in time, I think that launch is going to be fairly dry, and I think the only thing the really big thing they're going to have is Miles Morales. But, you know.
That's another thing. I just want to say one quick thing about Halo. Then I want to move on to some of the other games. Chris, you kind of took the words out of my mouth there. It's like, Adam, I feel you, brother. It would have been dope to see all that, But for me, this Halo is like, it's supposed to be like, yo, this is why you guys love Halo. So it's more of a back to basics. It's kind of like the Force Awakens. You know, it's like we got to take it back to what people loved, and then we can move forward. And like they said, you know, the game's called Infinite. They're gonna add more stuff, so perhaps you'll get that later. But I think what they show now is like, again, even me not being a big Halo guy, I was going, oh shit, that's fucking Halo. That's crazy. You know, so that's good.
We got a glimpse of the game. One thing that I also want to mention is, you know, 343 has been like it's interesting their path, because, you know, they released Halo 4. That was their first Halo game, and people were complaining.
The maps. That was it.
Yeah, people were complaining about the multiplayer because it wasn't like Bungie's. And then Halo 5 came out, and people were complaining about the campaign because it wasn't like Bungie's, but the multiplayer was good. And now Infinite's coming out, and it's like
people are complaining because it's like Bungie.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, I wasn't saying for multiplayer. I was saying for just
in general. Yeah, but yeah, again, I'm just saying like chaos. Keep those expectations in check, bro. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's hard because, you know, they're in a place where Halo, you know, I fucking love Halo. Like it's the game. It's one of the games that made me love gaming. Like it's a game that is still popular, but it's not as popular as it used to be. So 343 is in a situation where they're trying to appease the core fan base and trying to get new people, and either one of those has the potential to alienate the other. And that's just where they're in right now, and it's not an enviable position to be in, quite frankly, especially with this magnitude of an IP.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I want to move on to some other games they showed. The next big one they had was State of Decay 3. This one we were kind of like, is this State of Decay? Kind of looks like State of Decay, and it ended up being that. Danny, did you ever play the other State of Decay games?
Yeah, I played it. It's not for me, but like I was saying, there's games that was announced throughout this showcase that I don't have to buy. I could just try it out if I like it or not. Think of it as this. Yeah. It's think of it as like Netflix. Yo, there's so much content. There's going to be some that just meh, and there's some that's pretty good. So I see it as that. But as long as there's content, they're adding stuff into the service, I'm fine with that, man. There's people that are fans of that game. I'm just not a huge fan of it, man.
Yeah.
I just saw it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is obviously not gameplay because it looks too good.
Oh man, what about the rest of you guys?
No, I mean, come on, you know when shit is pre-rendered, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
games still have not reached that level, so I'm like, okay, this is just.
That should look better than The Last of Us.
They also look, yeah, exactly, and then they also like to put that little tiny thing in the corner. For me, for State of Decay, I mean, you know, another one of those sort of zombie type games. I'm like, okay, you got one of those.
It's a lot of management. I've tried it before. When Microsoft first bought them and they did the remaster edition, and they made it look pretty, because the PC one, it was kind of fun, but man, it looked rough. And so they did Microsoft, when they bought them, they did a lot of work on it. But it doesn't look like the cutscenes, that's for sure. It never looked like the cutscenes. If anything, that would be cool if they went into that direction where it looked like at least The Last of Us. So imagine The Last of Us, but in State of Decay world, that would be cool. But no, that's not how these look. At least from what we know, that's not how this is going to look. I wish it did, but yeah. So besides that, no, I know exactly what I'm getting into, and it's just too time consuming. Make sure you guys have been eating. Oh, there's internal fighting. Oh, there's another faction. I feel like there's no end.
Well, yeah, that's the point of that. That's the point of that game, right? It's supposed to be.
We're missing
it's community management. That's it.
Yeah.
Resource management.
Is that? Do you consider that game as a simulator? A simulator or not?
Kind of. It's a survival game.
It's to a point.
Yeah, I'm not really into. Yeah, I'm not into that stuff either, man.
Make sure you have enough water.
Yeah, not for me.
We're missing the one guy on here who would be into.
Brett. Yeah, he would love it, but yeah, I'm not into that stuff either.
Really?
Yeah.
But was he ever into State of Decay 1?
He was interested. He was
interested, but I mean, he played
N1H1 and all those.
Daisy.
He's like that genre. He likes that genre of the.
DayZ
Arc, you know, but yeah, it's not for me too. It's too much time management. I can't handle that shit.
Yeah, no, I can't worry about it. It's like I hate that in freaking Fallout.
I'd rather
You know,
pet
when I
Fox.
got to the town, it's like, oh, they're getting attacked. Oh, fuck, I don't got time for this shit. I'm too far away. I'm not going back.
Fast travel. Oh
Yeah.
wait, no, I got to run
But see,
across the world.
I might play like a more fun one like Grounded. Grounded looked like that.
Oh yeah, we'll
you know,
talk about
kinda fun
Grounded in a
and
bit.
cute. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess there's no big fans of that. We'll move on to Forza Motorsport. No number, just Forza
There was a lot
Motorsport.
of controversy
Yeah.
with this one because
What
3
happened?
years that it's
3
past the 2-year mark of when it comes out or some shit, some craziness. I don't know.
But
We
you
gotta
know
look
what?
that
Go
up.
ahead.
I'm happy that they're taking a break, because the thing that companies were doing a lot was every year there was like a new game every
Yeah.
year, just to make that money. But it felt like it was like a copy and paste and just added a couple new things. Think of it like sports games.
Oh yeah.
It's the same exact thing, So I'm glad that they're taking a break and changing things up, because once it comes back, it's gonna be good. This is not gonna be a launch title, man. You know what's gonna be a launch title? The Dirt Rally game.
Yeah.
That's gonna be for launch. They've been pushing that a lot during the last showcase.
So Danny, the question with Forza, and this is what I saw online. A lot of people questions like, so is this going to support the backward compatibility feature? Because if it's over 2 years out, when it comes out, that's not going to be a thing, because they just guaranteed at least within the first 2 years these games will be backward.
Yeah.
So that one might be a full Series X exclusive.
If you watch the trailer, there was no Xbox One there.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there wasn't.
Yeah, I want to bring that up
but
later. By
big
the way,
but.
yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, there's a big but in that, because it might not work you downloading the game, but you could stream the game and still play it.
I'll play it on your phone and your tablet through xCloud.
No. I'm talking about using xCloud on your console. They haven't announced that, but that's possible too.
Yeah, that
Oh
yeah, they
shit,
do
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Could it xCloud the app on the console?
Wait, I thought that would be
Yeah.
obvious. Is it not?
No, because they made it seem like
No,
they're
they
just
haven't
pushing it
announced
for mobile and stuff. They never said anything about it being on console or on
And-
PC.
and-
Right now, it's just Android and Apple.
Because
Mhm.
there
Yeah,
were.
I mean, that
I
was
mean,
I thought that was the idea, where it's like, in other words, it's the Series X, so that means that it'll probably be working on, if it's on xCloud, it's probably going to be working for everything.
No,
You know,
it is. They just haven't made that announcement.
in some sort of fashion, because why lock off why lock off a console, especially if you're going for it, you can play anywhere, right? So my guess is that yes, there won't be an Xbox One version. I mean Xbox One or One X version, but that doesn't mean that there won't be a streamable xCloud version.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an article. I forgot who it was. They were talking about how, I don't know which executive, but they were talking about the potential of bringing these to the Switch and the PlayStation. And they're like, they don't really care. They don't really want it, probably. But I mean, their own console probably would. So it seems logical to have it on.
Yeah, I don't think they don't want it. I think they just don't want them on it. I don't see Nintendo saying, yeah, we'll take that shit. No.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that road, but real quick, because I didn't think about that. It's like, because we did see a lot of games that didn't say Xbox One at all. They just said it. Series X, Xbox, or whatever, right? But you're right. It's like, if you have the OG Xbox One and you have Project xCloud, you can still stream these games that are not available on Xbox One on Xbox One. So no one's really left out of the party, So that's actually pretty smart,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's dope.
I mean, they haven't announced it.
They haven't.
They have
Yeah.
not announced
Well,
it.
Yeah, go ahead, Danny. Go ahead. Yeah.
And this is a very important thing that we haven't talked about this, but for next gen, think of it as like you're downloading Halo Infinite day one, right? Midnight, you gotta wait for a little while because it's downloading. But once you click download, you could actually play the game while it's downloading in the back. So you're playing the game using Project xCloud. Same thing with PlayStation 5. Once it's downloading, you could play the game, but you're using PlayStation Now in the background.
hybrid.
while it's downloading.
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
That'd be
so
dope.
We could see something like that, so we don't have to wait for like an hour, 30 minutes. Like just for the whole thing to download. Let that download, and we could start playing from the get, man, right away.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brian, you're our car guy. What do you think of Forza, man?
It looked really quite good, actually. Again, it wasn't any gameplay, it was just the announcement, but the footage itself looks really good. I was really, I went back and had a rewatch of the stream, but in 4K, just to see the part where they had the engine there, and you can see like all the parts, and it looks stupidly good. I was actually like a bit not shocked, but I was like, huh, like, this is actually something that looks like better than what I thought it could look like. So you could say that I am quite impressed by that. And then I went through, had look at some of the footage, and I noticed that there was a scene where you got to see the back tire of one of the cars, and you could see that the tire was compressed, and the rubber at the bottom where the tire meets the tarmac, it was wider. And I was like, okay, that is some Gran Turismo level of detail there. Like having the actual point of contact be wider than the rest of the tire. Like, okay, I am interested now in this. So yeah, it looks good. I want to know more about it. So yeah, it's on my radar.
I mean, out of all the developers that Microsoft has at hand, Turn 10 is probably the most reliable. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all that they would, you know, have this high quality game. And I agree. I was impressed even from the regular stream. It looked freaking amazing.
Definitely the showcase of the ray tracing hardware that they have on there. Yeah, it's definitely looked like a next generation title. Like where it looked like, okay, this is what the future sort of looks like. Yeah, again, and what better way to do that than with a car game?
Yeah, those always look good. So
those always look good because you don't need to worry about AI or skin. You just throw a bunch of helmets on people. You know, now you have really nice shiny floors and surfaces and vehicle stuff. So yeah, looks cool to me.
Dope. All right, moving on here to Everwild. Got a nice little trailer there. More of a cartoonish type of game. You know, it looks cool. Coming to Series X and Windows 10. Danny, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, at first I was just like, oh, it looks cool. I need to know more about it so I could get hyped. And I got to see the game. It looks very interesting, and I'm super curious to see what is it that Rare is doing. And that's the thing that I appreciate about Rare. They like to do new things every time they release a game. Some of them were very successful. Some of them were just not. But at least I love that they will take a risk to try new things. And this is one of those games that I got to see it, and I think it might be a very special game when it comes out. Right now, nobody is really talking about it that much because they're like, oh, it's Rare. You know, we'll talk about Halo and all other big games. But this might be one of those like sleepers that is going to surprise a lot of people when it comes out, man, I think.
Yeah, this might be a little bit of my ignorance. What type of game is this? Does anybody know?
No, they haven't shown you what type of game it is. It's just like that it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And actually, Rare, like, they're not really known for it, but they should. Like, I mean, Sea of Thieves, those water effects were freaking amazing. But yeah, I it's hard to judge this game just by this trailer, because we don't really know what type of game it is. But yeah, I do agree also with Danny's point that Rare kind of doesn't really do the same game over again. They kind of do new things every time. So yeah, hopefully this is good.
Yeah,
I mean, there is
nice,
a 4-player. They show 4 players in there, so I don't know if that's like a online co-op RPG. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to make that a subject because people remember when the Order 1886 showed the video, like, yo, it's co-op. They got 4 people on the screen. It's like we didn't get that, And Brian, I know you remarked about the hair. You were very impressed by the hair in this game.
Yeah, the hair seemed really good. Like, it was nice just seeing hair just like wave in the wind like that. It's like you don't see that very often. And I even went back and looked at the Halo trailer just to check, and yeah, the guy's hair is static. Whereas in there, it's like you see the hair like bobbing around and flowing like hair does, Kind of a bit too much, but it's video games. I can't really get too mad at that. It's like, oh, the hair's moving. Oh, it moves too much. Like, no, who cares? The hair moves for a change. Like, we're finally getting hair that moves after like how many years of like static hair. I mean, we already had the hands that don't look like Lego blocks. So yes, so now it's the hair.
Yeah, remember those hands? It was like this all the time.
You got mitten hands.
Old school. All right. Next up, we got. Tell me why this is a game.
I didn't get to say nothing.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, the resident artist. We don't ask him about the artistic game.
Yeah, Oh yeah. What?
Yeah.
Where?
By the way, Danny, this is why he talks about graphics so much. He's the artist. He's visual.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the visual guy. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was a very beautiful looking game. I mean, I would like to see what the game is actually about. I mean, it just looks like you're kind of like walking around, like touching monsters. But yeah, I really like that they're this is the biggest complaint I have about aesthetics, where they think where a lot of the idea is like, okay, we have to make things look hyper realistic, right? And this one, it's like, okay, yeah, we're doing it. We're deciding to go with a more of an artistic, sort of almost painterly looking look for the aesthetics of the game, rather than just making a bunch of hyper realistic looking human beings. And I definitely respect that. And yeah, again, about Rare, they do always sort of do something different, but it almost feels like they were not allowed to do something. I mean, what were they doing the generation before? Making avatars. I mean, Sea of Thieves, they just came out with Sea of Thieves. Well, that's the only thing that they came out for with last term. They have this generation. I feel like they should let them do more things.
That was a lot. They made a lot of money from that avatars because of all the little microtransactions for the clothes and all that stuff. They did a lot of work and they made money.
But I feel like I mean, that's only using a portion of your art team to do that. You're just using your 3D guys and your design guys just to constantly churn out some things. That's not, to be honest, I don't think that's an effective way to use a game development team. So let these guys do the things that let them do the things that people remember them doing, which was making friggin' games. Viva Peña, they had Viva Peña, they had Banjo-Kazooie, they had Conquer. Come on, give us some more, guys. So
yeah,
it's
they're doing it though.
nice.
They're doing a lot of games now, which is really cool. Rare's a great studio. Anybody else want to say something about Everwild before we move on? All right. Like I said, don't nod. They made Life is Strange. They had a new game coming called Tell Me Why, and I'm gonna assume it's the same type of deal. It's like story-based type of game.
Because remember, recently I went back to play a game in my back catalog, and it was Life is Strange 2, and it seems like that's the same exact story. It's two brothers. And some issues happened, and someone has a power, and they're on the run. And this one was a brother and a sister. Someone has powers, and they're on the run. I was like, the first thing I thought of was like, oh, wait a minute, what the hell are they doing? It's just the same thing. So, all right, just go. That just pissed me off when I saw that. It's just too on the nose with another project that they have.
Yeah. Go ahead, Manny.
It's funny because I saw this, and because I didn't see Don't Nod, I'm like, huh. This looks like Life is Strange, and then hear Adam say like, "Oh yeah, it was Don't Nod." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it makes sense. It looked like a Don't Nod game."
Exactly. It was too much. The story though, the stories were really. I was like, "No, this can't be." What did they feel like? No one really played the other one. Maybe if we repackage it and tweak it and we spit it out again, then they'll buy it.
Is it gonna be like a backdoor connection to Life is Strange like the last ones were?
Yeah, well, they all usually take place in Portland, in that area. So
okay.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Danny, what do you think of it, man?
I tell you the truth, I never played none of those games. So.
I was going to ask you that. I didn't hear it. Oh,
point and click adventures with some QTEs.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Walking Dead.
There's people that like that, So there's nothing wrong with that.
It looked like for Don't Nod, this looks really good, man. I mean, Life is Strange looked really good too, but this looks really nice. But I'm kind of done with those type of games personally. I'm not really feeling it. What about the rest of you guys? We into this stuff?
I never played the other games.
Yeah, I never played the other ones. I mean, I have an interested in some of them, but I never actually played Life is Strange before.
I played the first one.
The platinums.
I played the first one, like half of the first one, like up to episode 3, I believe. And never went back. Oh well.
They're fun. It's just the story. That's what really bothers me. It's just the story's too similar to what Life is Strange 2 is offering. Too similar.
Yeah. All right, I want to move on. Carlos, this one's your hype for. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is getting upgraded for the Xbox Series X, man. 120 frames a second, 4K, all that stuff.
120 frames per second? My TV can't even do that. Excuse me?
Then you won't see it. Sucks for you.
Yeah, man. I mean, Ori, I played Ori at the beginning of the year. It's a contender for Game of the Year for me. And I'm glad that they're, giving it a little bit more shine. Because, I mean, if it gets me to play that game over again, then I'm cool with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. They're adding the 120 frames, 4K. I guess they showed like the difference between, because I think the original is 60 frames. I mean, I played it on PC, so
Yeah.
it was.
By the way, I do hear that echo now.
Yeah.
Man, I thought I was going crazy.
I wonder where that's coming from. I want to give a shout out to Brett. What's going on, Brett? You finally showed up, sir.
Kill me.
What's up, guys? Sorry, work kept me a
Hey,
little
Brett.
bit.
No problem. Danny, what'd you think of this game getting upgraded?
No,
Ori.
it's good. It's good. I'm a huge fan of Ori. It looks fantastic before, and now it's gonna look even better. I think that's good, man. Good thing to do, man. Especially for those that have that, very expensive TVs and want to see everything. Like, yeah, it's good, man. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's cool is because they redid the first game as well. Like, so it's good that they're doing that with this one, like adding more stuff to it. I'll check because I didn't get to play the second game, so I'll play. I really like the first one. The first one was challenging as shit. I like that, so that's dope. Moving on. Oh, Danny, here's your game, bro. When they showed this, bro, I was like, Danny must have lost his mind. But you already saw it a week beforehand. The Outer Worlds, man. They got a DLC coming.
Oh, the DLC? Yeah. I want to know more about the story, about the universe. I'm excited about it. So we interviewed the game director and, oh my God, I can't remember who was the other person I interviewed. But yeah, it was two people that got on the show. So we just put up that interview right after they showed the trailer on during the showcase.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm excited. I want to know more about the characters. And they said that your companion is also going to have new stories too in the game. So you get to learn more about them, and it's going to be good, man. New enemies, level cap is going to go up too. It's going to be dope.
Nice.
Very, very excited. Yeah.
I need to go back to that game because I told you I stopped playing halfway through. I'm like, this is too much. I didn't want to deal with it,
It's not that long, Tony. It's not that long. That game is like 25, 30 hours.
That's great. I was 20 hours in, bro. Yeah, I was 20 hours in and a bunch of checklists mission. I'm like, I'm done. It was too much,
It was good. I mean, if you're a fan of Fallout New Vegas, you're gonna love this type of game. So it's good. I think I have 40 hours. I played it 3 times already. Finished the game.
Wow.
Twice on Xbox.
You should be
And
ashamed,
one
though. You call yourself a gamer?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, I put 100. I put 120 hours into Dragon Quest, man. So I'm good. Actually, no, I put more than that because I already put 75 hours into the Switch version. We'll talk about it in a bit because I'm a little annoyed with that Dragon Quest announcement. I was hyped and then I got annoyed. But we'll talk about that in a little bit later. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, Danny's moving and shaking, doing all kinds of stuff all over the place, and you can't get to that game. What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah. Priorities, man. I sunk all my time into Death Stranding, that's what I did last year. Oh man! All right. Grounded. Let's talk about Grounded. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game, as I call it.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. Go ahead, Manny.
I like their anti campaign where they're like, if you want the best game, most talk about game ever, look at you, go play Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny, did you see that tweet they put out? Cyberpunk, they tweet. I was like, hey, we see you, Grounded.
Yeah. No, but I think, look, I trust Obsidian. They're a pretty good developers. Like, I just love their games, and I'm excited to try this out, man. And it's a new type of game. It's not RPG. It's cool. It's very unique, and I'm excited. It's coming out next week?
Yeah,
28th.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
I'll
try that out.
Yeah. By the way, speaking about speaking about RPGs from Obsidian, Avowed was shown, which is pretty interesting.
Obsidian was killing it.
Yeah, bro. What do you think, man?
Games.
Yeah, that you're a Mr. Obsidian. What do you think of it?
Dude, I think as a game company, they've really come into their own, and it's clear Microsoft's put a lot of money behind them. Like, how many games are there? And 2 or 3 that they're coming out with now for the Xbox?
3.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder fucking Microsoft bought them. They had 3 fucking games in the pipeline. So I mean, that's great. It's between that and Fable, like, man, I don't know, and like,
But Brett, I felt like when I saw Avowed, I'm like, man, can Obsidian step on Bethesda anymore? They're like, all right, we're gonna take Fallout from you. All right, we're gonna take Elder Scrolls from you now. You know, that's how I felt when I saw that trailer.
well, I mean, they've been BioWare have a long storied history of stealing stuff from each other. And I'm not sure who had it first. I think technically Bethesda turned it into what it is because Bethesda came out with Elder Scrolls first. So the engine was always on Bethesda. The content was a lot of times on. They're clearly like, fine, you're gonna take Fallout from us, we're gonna take Skyrim from you, which is fucking hilarious in my opinion. It looks like an interesting game though. I didn't like Outer Worlds as much as a true Bethesda game. So I'm mixed. It's not gonna be fucking Skyrim, but it's gonna be a good game, I think.
Hey Brett, did you see remember the Honey I Shrunk the Grounded game?
Yes, as soon as I saw you could build in that, I was like, oh fuck.
I knew it.
Oh, we said that.
Yeah, we said that during the stream, like, oh, Brett's gonna love this shit. You could build in the game, you know?
Yep, if I could build the game, like, fuck, okay, I'm in. Let's do this.
Man, that's funny.
Some shit.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have this one's kind of interesting. As Dusk Falls. It's kind of like a FMV game, but painted looking. You know which one? Man, Danny, you remember that one? Like,
Yeah, I remember that.
Which one is that one?
yeah, it's like it almost looked like still pictures and everything was painted looking. They had they were interviewing like the developer. She's like Irish or something. You know.
I thought she was French.
I don't
She's
know.
French.
French, yeah.
UK?
Yeah, that's what it was. Irish was the other game. By the way, I know I forgot who said that. It's like basically the rule is if you're an indie developer, you have to have somebody from Europe introduce your game. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like it looks nice, but it's like I don't. It's weird. Yeah.
Look, man, I have no comments on that one.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. It definitely made an impression on you.
I noticed.
Yeah, right now I doesn't like that.
Yeah,
go ahead, baby.
I was just wondering what the gameplay was on there.
I don't know.
I think it's just like a visual novel thing.
Is that what it is? It's just
dialogue
visual novel?
and cutscenes. You probably choose what dialogue selects or something. I don't know. I'm assuming it's kind of like that, but I don't know. They didn't show the actual gameplay.
I feel like, I mean, as nice as the paintings were, I would say, like, to be honest, it just looked like they just painted over a bunch of people, and I feel like that doesn't give you anything. You know, I mean, and just talking aesthetics. Mm-hmm. Like, if they had chosen an actual style instead of sort of realistic style, I feel like it might have been a more interesting thing. But yeah, I still don't know what it is, and I really don't. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, it looked like a episodic, again, one of those episodic games. So it's good for the service, but it's not. I don't know. I mean, there are gonna be people that are gonna like that type of games. It's just not for me, you know.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, I want to know what it is. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on there.
I mean, yeah, I'm interested. I'm intrigued in the side of like, okay, I want to know what they're going for here because obviously their little trailer or whatever their feature did not do a really effective job as to giving you an idea of where we're going to be going with that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
At that tip, I'd probably be like, yeah, okay, let's see. But at least as of now, it's not that interesting, you know.
Yeah. All right, I want to move on to the next one. This one I'm excited about. Hellblade 2, Sunu Saga, man. The only thing about this was they didn't show any gameplay. Nothing new, but they were talking about how it's going to be based in Iceland. The developers went around taking pictures and stuff. But the first game was so good. I'm ready for this, man. That's a blind buy. I know it's going to be good.
Also.
Yeah, it probably is, but I want it now. Ninja Theory is one of my favorite developers. With the exception of that multiplayer game they put out, I'm forgetting the name of it right now. They released nothing but gold in my eyes, so I'm ready for this, man. Danny, what'd you think of Senua's? I keep wanting to say Senua's Sacrifice is Senua's Saga.
No, I think that the game looks good. I mean, what they showed before, it looks beautiful. I want to see the gameplay, but I think it's not the right time for that. They could do that later this year, either XO 20. They'll do like a special event for that, because I think this is going to be a 2021, maybe early 2022 type of game. And somebody is throwing fireworks.
Yo, they're going ham over there, bro.
Mhm.
You're on the Upper West Side, right, Danny?
Yeah, at Upper East.
Upper East. Oh,
Upper
man.
East,
In the Heights.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So I think it's not the right time to show gameplay right now, man. You know, save that. And that's the thing that I saw a lot in the comments. People are like, "Oh, I want to see more gameplay." And like, dude, why are they going to show gameplay on every game that they announce? They're not to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should
But
clarify that. It's
good.
like, yeah, I should clarify. I'm not like mortified they didn't show gameplay. It's just like a little bit, but I know when they do show gameplay, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Oh man.
With Senua's Sacrifice, the original one, it took them quite a while to get to the point of actually showing something that was, gameplay, and a lot of it was, I think it was like about 4 or 5 years. But one of the things that they did do, and one thing, if you know this, and they did announce this in the thing, that they actually do a lot of really nice behind the scenes featurettes for the original one, and it looks like that they're going to do that sort of thing in this too, so kind of give you an idea as to where they're going to go. And then sometimes you'll see some bits of gameplay, so it's a bit of a different idea than most studios would do. Senua's Sacrifice, definitely. No, excuse me, whatever. Senua's Saga. I mean, sounds good. Looks that first trailer was incredibly impressive looking, and I hope that with all the they, at least now in the new version of Ninja Theory, they're sort of like really into sort of putting the extra little bit of spit shine onto these things and make them really cool. So yeah,
dude, the thing that got me excited about this, even though we didn't see the game yet, when they said it's running on Unreal 5, I'm like, yes, man.
Well, didn't they say it on the side tip?
They did say it on the they did. They announced it a couple weeks ago, but now it was just nice hearing it again, because as I said before, that Unreal Engine demo is the most impressive thing I've seen coming out of next gen so far. So if a game's going to be running on that, give me that. I mean, here's the thing. That thing could be running on Unreal 3. I'd still play because it's, Hellblade. But, oh, man, just the fact that it's on Unreal 5, that's going to be amazing, Can't wait. Hey, Brett, what's your thoughts, man? I know you're the other big Hellblade fan here.
I'm excited. I don't need to say gameplay. I played the first one. I know what I'm doing and what's in store, and unless there's some huge major overhaul. And even if there is, I get what they're going for. They're going to build an evolved version of that. So I'm not terribly upset about not seeing gameplay footage for a game I know I probably already want and already know what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that one's already getting bought, All right, next up we got Psychonauts 2. Optimized for Series X.
Fuck you about time and fuck you again.
Okay.
It's not really a exclusive, that one. That one is actually coming on multiple platforms.
Yeah. No, I said optimized for Series X.
Oh,
yeah, I just read this. I just read what the logo said.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. It looks nice. I mean, Double Fine always makes nice looking games, and this is an interesting one because this is one of those crowd-funded games. So it's going to be an interesting seeing how this sort of rolls out, because some things can get kind of weirdly muddled when it comes to crowd-funded things, especially when the company gets bought by a big studio like Microsoft. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, Danny, what'd you think of it, man?
Yeah, I missed the presentation last year. Pete went and he said he loved it. He loved the presentation of the game. Looks good and everything. And again, the only difference is this game is going to be on Game Pass, so you have the option if you want to buy it through there, download there, but it's also going to be available in every console. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good game. I love Part 1. I don't know if you guys played Part 1 at all, but It was a classic in my opinion back then. So I'm excited for this one, man. It looks good.
It's fun.
Love the new colors.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Love the colors.
It's funny. Wasn't Psychonauts at some point a Microsoft game?
It was on
It
the
was.
Xbox.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was supposed to be an
they were supposed to be
exclusive.
published. Yeah,
It was supposed
Microsoft
to
was
It was published.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was published at first. Yeah.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, Double Fine, because I had this conversation with Ryan McCaffrey at IGN. He mentioned this on the show, and he mentioned this on his own podcast, that Double Fine will be like the perfect developers to work on a game like Banjo-Kazooie. I was like, I never thought about that. You're right, because they're all the original crew that worked on that game that used to work at Rare, they left. They're not there anymore, man. So
That's a good point. Yeah.
have a new group of people to work on those games, man. It's the same thing that I think the developers that worked on Jet Set Radio, they said the same thing. Back then, they were hungry when they worked on that game 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And they asked them, "Would you like this game to return?" They were like, "No, we need new blood, man. New people that are hungry." And because I think that's what it's gonna make the game better with new experiences, having a new group of people that have like new ideas for it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I trust Double Fine. I think it's gonna be good overall with their games.
Yeah, should be interesting. All right, next up we got Paris should be here for this one. Destiny 2 got another expansion, Beyond Light, which is also going to be on Xbox Game Pass in September. I already said this about Destiny. I've been burned by this franchise too many times, man. And this thing is like, I love the gameplay. The gameplay is fantastic. Best first-person shooting in this generation as far as I'm concerned. But everything else just feels like I'm just grinding too much. I don't know, man. So I know they're going to get me again. I'm probably going to play this just like I've played every other Destiny expansion. But it's like, I don't know, man. Oh, Danny, do you mess with Destiny? I never really heard you talk about it too much. Not as much as Paris, you know?
At first, I was playing a lot part 1, and then I got excited for part 2, and then I stopped, and I started playing other games. I mean, look, man, I'm a type of person that if there's something new, I'm going to try that. I'm not going to be stuck with just one game and play for years. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be good for Bungie. This is going to open the doors for a whole new crowd that have never played Destiny, and they're going to get all that on Game Pass. So, I think that's dope. Really, really dope. Really good for them.
Yeah, Adam, what do you think, man?
We'll see. Yeah, after all the issues that they put that bitter taste in Xbox gamers' mouths with the exclusive content for a year and this and that
on PlayStation, yeah.
So it was a lot of bullshit. So the fact that it's all on Game Pass, it's good for gamers. I mean, not so good for the Stadia gamers, but it is good for Xbox and everybody else. So. I'm just saying, that was another smack in the face. It was like, toma, puto, man. You got nothing. This is it. You were hyping this shit. We giving this shit away for free. You're charging bitches $60. Come on now. Not happening. But no, it's cool. Again, that's a game that I envision that I'm sitting in the break room or something at work. I'm like, fuck, you know what? And I'm gonna have one of the expandable snap-in sets for my phone, and I'll play on XCloud. That'll be awesome to play some of that. Do some little missions, jump in and out with some people. I have some buddies still on my Xbox that most of them just fucking use Netflix and Hulu, but the ones that do play, they're playing on freaking Destiny.
Yo, I remember playing Destiny 2 with Adam, and it was like a week that came out, and all we were doing is just going from one part of the map to the other part of the map and going back and forth. Like, we did that like 100 times.
Yeah,
Adam was so hyped for this game. Like, at the end of that session, his whole will just broke, and he was like, "Yo, man."
Because that was the thing. Because you're playing, and then when I was talking to other people that have been playing for a while, they're like, "Oh, hang out on Titan and farm, right? You got to keep going back and forth. It's timed, and then you'll see the little crown thing, whatever pops up. You kill the robot and stuff, and then you get the loot. You got to get high level gear before you venture out." So actually, no, I'm spending 2-3 days in this one area, and I'm all juiced up, and then I'm playing through the game. I'm like, "Oh man, this isn't. I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't a challenge anymore." I was like, "I fucked it. I broke my game. I broke it." Yeah,
you shouldn't have done that. I just played it through. I didn't do any farming in that, man. It was fine, you know. All right, let's move on here. Stalker 2. Brian, you're the one that told us this was Stalker because we were like, "What is this game?"
Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Please explain.
Yeah, Brian, please, because I don't know anything about Stalker.
PC.
Okay, so Stalker was not old school, but it was like a way back in the day, like PC game. Basically, it's the whole idea, if I remember correctly, and I might be getting confused with a different title. Basically, it's kind of like Metro in the way that it's a first-person shooter, atmospheric, European setting. I don't remember which country it was set in, but that's the general gist idea. It was kind of Lovecraftian towards the end. I don't want to spoil it in case you guys want to go back and play it, but sort of Lovecraftian in the end of it, and it was really quite good. It was one of those weird games where not many people heard of it, but the ones that played it, they loved it. You know, it was one of those titles. So I'm interested to see that the fact that it was on Microsoft, like on Microsoft stage, because this is after last time they had Metro on stage, and it's like, oh, like
Yeah,
these games
Exodus.
are like finally getting the shine that they like deserve. Like these
And
are like hidden gems amongst hidden gems of games.
they took that off Game Pass recently. I didn't finish it. Kind of hurt.
Well, buy it. It's a good game.
You're not
Like-
the boss of me. All right. Let's just keep going.
No, really, buy it.
Not
Like
boss.
these guys, like they
Adam.
had trouble making the game. Like seriously, like they had to like smuggle in like IT equipment into the country to finish making the game.
What?
Damn.
Yeah. These
Adam,
guys
what-
literally had to go through like illegal channels to like finish off the game because they can't get the equipment that they needed.
Wow.
Yeah, buy the game. It's worth it.
All right.
Adam,
Yeah.
Yo,
when's your birthday?
August 4th.
All right, then ask someone for the game.
Oh, shit. There you go. Yep, that's right.
All right, man. So there you go. Thank you, Brian, for that. Next up, we have Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. I'm not familiar with this franchise, so I can't really speak on it.
They're all over the place, these
Oh, yeah.
Warhammers.
RTS.
They're all different types there. Card games, RTS. Did you ever play Warhammer with the miniatures? The
No,
figurines?
he probably did. He never did that.
Oh, man.
That's old school Warhammer.
I did.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Manny, remember Sharkies in Brooklyn?
Yeah, we used to play
Yeah,
that.
they had all the tables and stuff. It's like, yeah, that was, and then you got to roll, and then you move a whole unit on a platform. It's like, okay, now we're gonna. It take days just to do one battle, but
I
it's all
remember
it's
That's
more
his
though.
business.
I played one of the Warhammers on 360. Was a third-person shooter, but they
Mhm.
have games all over the place, so
All-
I couldn't
all
even
genres.
tell you.
Yeah, they got a first person one. They got third person.
I don't
they
know
got
if
some on
this
the
is
Switch.
strategy. I don't know if.
And I don't know what game this is. Like, I don't know what franchise or what genre it belongs to, you know?
So far, the only one that I know, because I try to keep up with those, because I enjoyed them before. The only one that I know that's actually catching waves, it's the newest one, which is one of those turn-based card game battle type thing. So it's like where you need the cards to move your actual characters, and then they start fighting, but it's not the cards. I don't know what they call those.
Card games?
It's like
No,
Hearthstone and all that stuff, right? Yeah,
It's
like that.
it's like it looks like an RTS, like you're moving in positions, but you have cards. So based off of the cards, so if you have, let's say, I have a long range assault rifle, you put the long range, and you have an expansion of like a scope on it. You put that on it, and then once you place your cards, you're still seeing the fighting. It's not just cards; you're seeing your characters actually shoot and do the whole.
Oh, so it's like a card game / strategy game. It sounds like.
Yeah. It's one of those, and that's what I'm actually thinking of picking one up on the Switch because of that. That one got pretty good reviews.
So then it's like Hands of Fate.
There you go. That's it. Hands of Fate. That was the one that it spawned. Yep, it's Hands of Fate.
All right, there you go. Yeah.
I'm willing to put my was it my something in the hat?
Your hat in the ring. Your hat in the
Put
ring,
your
man.
name in the hat.
Your name in the hat. You
Your
can do
name in the
that
hat,
too. Yeah.
And say that it's going to be a first-person shooter because they had that one sequence where it wasn't first person, and it would be kind of weird if it wasn't, given what they showed. So that's my reasoning.
Yeah. No, I agree. But the thing is, I could have sworn I heard they were making an FPS game. Maybe that's why. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Next up, Tetris Effect Connected. Danny, I know you're hyped for this, man.
I'm excited for that, man. I played Tetris Effect on PlayStation 4. Beautiful game. The only difference with this one, which they're going to add it for PlayStation 4 too, is this going to be multiplayer. So I don't know if you guys watched the trailer. People were like, what is this? I'm like, that's Tetris, because the creator of Tetris comes out right at the beginning of the video. He was there. So I was like, oh my God, is this Tetris Effect? But they added multiplayer. It's going to be really, really dope. And again, that game is also going to be available on Game Pass. So
I thought that was Tetris 99 at first. I'm like, oh shit, this is what they get for giving Cuphead to Nintendo. They get Tetris 99. It's like a free Sunday. We're doing the mishmash.
No,
that didn't happen.
That's a Nintendo game. That's a Nintendo game. But this one, the good thing about this game is going to be crossplay. So you could play with PlayStation 4.
Oh, dope.
PC, yeah, Xbox. Yeah, Series X, Xbox One. You could play everything there, man.
That's cool. Yeah, by the way, it's kind of funny because when we were doing their live stream earlier today, it was me, Chris, Carlos, and our mutual friend, Ryan Meitzler, right? the three of us were like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" And Ryan's like, "It's Tetris. It's the music." Like, because he played the game Tetris Connect, so he instantly recognized it because of the music. So that's kind of cool, you know. So what is it? Is it like Tetris 99, Danny? Like, how does that game work exactly?
It's okay. So I only play the single player because there's no multiplayer in the old one. But
Yeah.
it's different levels. You need to reach a certain amount of lines, and once you do that, you go to. It's like, think of it like Luminous. So it's like the music, the level changes like that. So the more you do, the more things changes and everything. It's pretty cool. It reminded me of that. I mean, it's from the developer that worked on Luminous. It's the same developers that worked on that. So
I
you're
miss
gonna
Luminous. That was a
you're
fun
gonna
one,
get
too.
that type of experience, the same exact type of experience.
Didn't they bring back Luminous recently? Or am I bugging?
Yeah, it was the VR game.
Yeah, VR. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And also it came out for the Switch too.
Luminous?
The old Luminous, yeah, it came out for the
Oh.
Switch like months ago, like sometime last year.
Adam, you got to get that then, man.
Yeah, probably do. Let me
Yeah.
look that up. That's just a Google. GTS and shit.
All right. Next up, we got the Gunk, which is another like third-person like kind of platforming game. Looked nice, you know.
Yeah,
That's
that,
a
that,
nice looking stylized game.
You know where that game reminded me of? Luigi Mansion.
Hmm.
Like different.
with like Super Mario Sunshine. It's like with that whole.
You know, yeah, Mario Sunshine, yeah, because
The
you're
gunk
kind of
part.
sucking up the gunk off the grounds, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game looked pretty. It looked pretty interesting. But did they give a date for that one? Because they showed gameplay.
September 2021. It says
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah.
that's right there. That's right there.
2021 though.
That's,
Oh, my
so
bad.
weird.
I want
Yeah.
this year to be over. That's fine.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's a very specific month though. It's like September 2021. It's like, why not just say 2021? That is weird, you know.
Well, they're giving it all to you, man. They're giving it right there. They're like, yep, it's coming out this day.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Hey, that's good. You know, looks nice. All right. Next up, we got the Medium, which is I think they showed this before, I believe.
Yo, this. First of all, I love this developers, man. I love the studio. They worked on Layers of Fear, Layers of Fear 2, Blair Witch, and now they're working on this game. But this also reminded me of that Control, like that type of vibe.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. But I love that they showed there's two different worlds, I think.
Yeah.
Timelines, I think it's called, right? Where you'll be in one area, it looks different at the other. Like this, it seems more like scarier with more monsters and the other world and everything. But it looks interesting as fuck. Like I'm excited to play this game, man. That's my type of game. This could be, because they say this is a launch console exclusive.
Yeah.
This could be the Condemned for Xbox Series X. So
Condemned
when
was awesome.
Interesting.
when,
Yeah,
when
that was awesome.
360 came out, that was the only horror game that came out.
Oh,
for
bringing
launch.
it back, Condemned, yo.
So
Yeah.
this could be that type of game of scary, just dope. It's dope.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
This game looked like really similar, or like the vibe of it was really similar to that one PlayStation game that we got in the last conference. What was that game called? Like the space game where it's like
What, Control?
Oh, the girl who kept crashing on
The
planet
astronaut,
was
right,
different
Chris?
every time.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
I got that. I got Control vibes. I got. There was a
Well,
lot.
I got Silent Hill vibes because that's what it
Yeah.
reminded me of, like the
That's
parallel
what I was
world
doing.
that she's existing in two places at once, and one's like a nightmare version of the other. I think that's interesting. You can switch between them. Yeah, Alan Wake kind of did that, but this one is different because you're seeing both of them at the same time, which I think is interesting. No game's done that. You're either in one or the other, right? You're in the nightmare, you're in normal world, but she does stuff in one and it affects the other. I think that's
So-
pretty interesting gameplay.
I was wondering, when I saw that, the first thing that popped in my head was Titanfall 2. And there's that
Oh,
one
yeah, I know
area
what you're
where-
talking about.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Remember where you had to go through and there was a fire, and then it was like, how do I get across? But if you flip back in time, there was an actual path.
Oh,
so then
okay.
you can take the path to get across, but you had to make sure to switch again.
Yo, that was
Because
the
then that door
best
was-
part of that game,
Yeah.
man. That was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, if you're gonna take that leap, this reminds me of Super Paper Mario.
You're crazy, man. Yeah, it looks cool. Go ahead, bro.
By the way, this is the first game from the developers that worked on this to be third person, because every game that they worked on has been first person. So I'm curious how that's gonna play.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your eye on it. It looks cool, man. I like the whole vibe, you know. Danny, you already know what time it is, man. Fantasy Star
PSO.
Online too. Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say commercial break. Like, what time is it?
We're gonna get some fucking empanadas right now, you know.
Yo, I get it. It's not for everyone. I'm excited. I love the original PSO for the Dreamcast, and now this. The thing is with this is celebrating the 20th anniversary of the game. Also, this is a totally new type of experience from the one that came out years ago for the PC in Japan, and also the one that came out recently now for Xbox One and PC. The only difference is this new game is going to launch globally, exclusive for Xbox One and PC. Of course, this is a time exclusive. It's going to be available for other consoles too, but I'm excited, man. I'm very, very excited that back then I hated that Japan would get all these games, and we had to wait when it will come out. Jesus Christ! Hold on a second.
Yeah, they're going ham over there.
No, they're partying over here.
Yeah.
They're not stopping.
No, you're good right now, though. You know.
Anyways, okay, so
yeah.
Before we had to wait when a game will come out in Japan.
That's right.
Then it will come out in the States and then Europe. But dude, now it's region free. We don't need to wait for that crap, man. Now it's launching globally. I'm excited, man, and most likely it's gonna be free too.
Yeah, probably will. What about the rest of you guys? Excited for Phantasy Star Online?
I'm waiting for them to make a real fucking Phantasy Star game.
No,
How long has that been?
Don't get me started. For 20 years, I'm like, where's Phantasy Star 5? Don't get me started.
Yo, man, I want to play the Fantasy. Just take Phantasy Star Online, third person game. Turn that into a normal RPG. I want to see Nee. I want to see all my cats again, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm saying why can't we have both, right? We have Phantasy Star Online, and then we got Phantasy Star 5. You know,
it's just the biggest tease on the planet, because it's like for everybody who's still got that old blood and remembers them old games. I'm like, come on, man. Back when I was a kid, Phantasy Star was an RPG game.
Back in my day.
Back in my days.
That 8-track player. That shit played all the songs I wanted in a row.
Didn't need to skip the songs either.
I skipped
That was such an old man moment right there. Back in my day when I played Phantasy Star on, there was no online. There was just numbers behind it. There was no. Man.
Right.
Before toaster, we used an iron to make grilled cheese. Shit.
But you know, I at the other end.
We had 8 tracks and we liked it. Dagnabbit.
The other thing about it is, it is nice that they're actually finally releasing this one. You know, and this is like sort of a, you know, I mean, I know a lot of people have been asking for this one, you know, to happen. So it's cool to see that again. But
no, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, you know, again, like just because we may not be a fan of it doesn't mean other people are like Danny. He's fucking hyped, so that's good. That's great. That's good, man. That's good. That's good.
And you know what? I noticed twice when they showed the trailer at E3. Within seconds, it was PSO, and this one the same exact thing. I was like, oh, it's PSO, and everybody, huh? Yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome, man. All right, next up we have the closer right here, man. Fable. Mm-hmm. Quick little tease of Fable. You know,
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing, man. Playground Games is one of my favorite developers, man. They made one of the best racing games ever made, man. Horizon Zero. Horizon. I was gonna say Horizon Zero Dawn. So they made Forza Horizon 4 and 3. It's really, really dope. But the thing that I'm excited about, Fable. Jesus Christ.
Diablo. They're going crazy, bro. All right, go ahead.
I apologize. This happened when you live in the city, man.
In the city.
Yeah. Shortly before 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. The reason why I'm hype about this is, picture this, man. I don't know if you guys play Forza Horizon.
I played that. Yeah.
So the weather system, how it changes in the game, and so imagine playing Fable, but with that and maybe a bigger world. Like, oh man, I'm hype. I'm very, very hype. And you know, when was the last great Fable game, man? You know, there wasn't that. You
But
know?
there's a lot of controversy with
yeah.
that last one because
Nobody
you
liked
get
the third one.
condoms and
Which,
sex
yeah, yeah. Chris, what was it? Which one? Which one didn't people like?
Oh, the third one.
It was
Oh,
3.
third
That
one,
was the last one that come out too.
Yeah, people don't like
Legends
that.
never came out.
Yeah, Adam,
I
what were you
was
saying,
joking
man?
that
Yeah.
I was joking at the beginning of the trailer was the Peter Molyneux tree. It
Oh
finally
yeah,
grew.
it finally grew. That seed finally grew.
They were trying to make it.
You could plant a seed and it'll grow. It's like that tree never grew, bruh. You know, so that's good. They finally grew.
Can you finally plant that tree and let it grow?
I just hope with everything that's happening currently that a lot of the stuff that were issues then, when in regards to your character development, how you could go both ways, or you had to make sure you had condoms. If not, there's a good chance you have a baby. And it was a lot of those things, and people were like, oh man, I don't know why they do this. You can't have kids play it. But I'm sure that's still going to be a part of it because it's supposed to be like the real world. You can do crazy shit just like that in the real world. So I don't know if they're going to go down that road again, but who knows?
I think this is the first Playground games since the acquisition, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, besides the Horizon, yeah, but since the acquisition official, yeah.
Yeah.
So
They've been working for
it for a while now. Yeah.
Chris,
I mean,
go ahead.
you like to see studios take on different things. I mean, Fable's this big RPG. To go from a racing game to an RPG is very interesting. How they handle that kind of different genre. So, but I'm confident they can do well. I always like to see that though. Like they're not pigeonholed to just make.
Do we still know the reason why? Was it something gate?
No,
Lionhead.
Lionhead.
What was the reason that they just let everybody go? They didn't bring anybody in for any of this shit. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I heard that their game was almost done when they shut it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't. Something. I was waiting for somebody from that project to come out and say, "All right, this is one went down." We didn't hear shit.
Oh, that was like the Purge, man. Like that was around the Scalebound cancellation too. That happened very close.
They got fired. The game is gone, and that was it. So not even with this, they didn't say, "Hey, we brought in some of those team members."
Brexit. That's right. Oh man.
Brexit. Did you hear about some shit? They got sent back to the Czech Republic. What went down over there? What went down? Shit got real over there in the UK. You know,
no one knows.
Oh man, Brett, get in here, man, because I know you're a big Fable guy. What do you think?
I'm excited, but I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess. Like, Lionhead has its own flavor. Peter Molyneux, while crazy, has a certain tone to some of the games that they play. The Lionhead games just, I don't know what it is about them. And just handing the studio off, especially to somebody who makes hyper-realistic racing. I mean, like, there's, leaning out of your wheelhouse.
They're the Forza Horizon games, so they're more. They're not the hyper-realistic. They're the more like arcade.
The arcade racing. They've got the Lego and stuff. That was fun.
Still, like, it's such a weird jump for that studio to make. It almost feels like Microsoft was like, "Hey, we have Fable. You should do Fable."
Well, Brett, they are British. Playground games are, so maybe they'll get the humor.
Hey, but you know what? We saw that happen with that other game, Horizon Zero Dawn. Remember those guys just made first-person shooter, and when we found out they were making this open world, I wasn't fond of it.
What
but
Brett's
some people really liked it. That was a big jump, and
what Brett's talking about is Fable had something like it had like this Britishness of it. Whenever you played it, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think this is.
Did they go to the pub? Did they drink? Did they have football rights? What are you talking about?
It's
like, yo, spit it out,
dude. It's their response. It's the way the world is built. It's kind of a comedy.
That sense of humor that they have. It's hard to describe, at least for me.
Sense of humor, levity. They don't take themselves too seriously. Fable's the kind of game, Adam, where you're like, you can walk up to a door and it'll be like, yes, well, I mean, I am a talking door, so I suppose I should have treasure behind me, but I'm not sure. Gonna have to open me to find out.
So I guess we'll find out who wrote it.
That's what I always thought of it as, the Monty Python sort of a matter-of-fact sort of humor.
Yeah, exactly.
We just need to know who wrote the script for it. That's all, and we'll find out. If he's not British, then we boycott the shit.
But here's the thing, Adam. Like, even within the 3 that Lionhead did, they changed quite a bit. Like, The good evil kind of dichotomy, it kind of got lessened and changed a little bit as the games go on, but they also got more complicated. So really my big question is like, where are they going to pick off? What Fable are they trying to emulate? What things, what pieces are they trying to keep when they reboot it? What pieces are going out?
We'll definitely find out as the years go by, because I have a feeling this is at least 2 years out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't have a release date or anything.
I think. I mean, it's safe to say that it's 2 years out on every game that wasn't announced for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like State of Decay 3, all of those. I think those are either 2
maybe this year.
Yeah, we should say launch exclusive means whenever that game launches, it's going to be exclusive. Not that it's going to be an exclusive at launch for Xbox when it launches. I want to just say one quick thing about Dragon Quest, and then we're just going to give our overall thoughts before we wrap up. Okay, so basically, Dragon Quest 11, the definitive edition, is coming to Xbox Game Pass, which is dope. That's great. Coming to PS4, all that. I was very hyped for this because basically the original game that we got on PS4 had some MIDI music. It wasn't all that. Then the Switch version came out, had this beautiful orchestra music. So I'm like, okay, now we're gonna get. But the Switch version didn't look as good, you know. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get the graphics of the original game, maybe even better with the orchestra music. It's gonna be amazing. So it turns out they're just porting the Switch version over to the Xbox. So they're not even bothering to change the graphics. I mean, it's gonna be it's gonna have like higher frame rates and all that. Not higher. It's gonna have higher textures and all that, right? But it's gonna have the same blocky like characters. I'm like, come on, guys, like that's kind of messed up. You know, it's kind of I don't want to say lazy, but you guys could have put more effort into it. I was very upset by that. You know,
that's weird. Taking a low port to bring it to a powerful console. That's not.
Yeah, when the powerful version already exists, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why.
That's a little weird.
That's lazy.
I don't know, man. Kind of disappointed.
I'm gonna do a story. I'm gonna cover that. That'll be cool. I'm covering that shit.
Yeah.
LazyBitches.com. Here we go.
You're crazy, bro. But yeah, let's just give our overall thoughts on the show. And Danny, you can start. You already did kind of, but you know, just to reiterate things,
like,
you know.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think this is the first chapter of a long story that we're gonna get to see of more games for the system, because I think personally, if you compare PlayStation 5 reveal and this, I feel like this one had less fillers. The other one felt like there was too many fillers on the last one for a PlayStation, you know? So I'm happy with the presentation and everything they announced for Xbox, and I know they're going to be more. There was stuff that wasn't announced here. We're going to hear it maybe in August or sometime later this year. And this is the beginning. I think it's good, man. As a fan, I think it's going to be dope. A lot of content, different type of content, RPG, action, fighting, whatever is out there for you. You have the choice which one you want, you know? So, and at the same time, you don't need to buy the console at first. You could just stick with your old one, play all these games, and then when the time is right, you could upgrade and you get the powerful console, I guess, you know? But yeah, I think it's good, man. Much better than me. Much better than me.
So are you saying the slice of life dinosaur game is a filler, right?
Which one?
From the PlayStation experience, that dinosaur game.
You know, it's like a slice of life during the campfire.
Dinosaur High or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Dinosaur
High.
Yeah.
That's
not a filler game. That is. Come on. That's. We've had. Okay.
That was worse.
We've talked about the term. No. Hold on. We've talked about the term system seller before, and I don't want to have to get back into it.
Wait, which one was the one that it was like girls singing and it was like cartoony?
That was it. That was the dinosaur game.
That was
yeah.
it. That's Dinosaur High. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was
yeah,
terrible.
was it Goodbye to Dinosaur High? Yeah. Yeah.
For a reveal of a new console, why would you show that?
Yeah. Yo, Danny, you know what?
Whoa. You guys don't get it. It's like they're graduating high school and it's the end of the world. Because graduating high school feels like the end of the world, man. Like, do you get it? But like, do you get it?
Yo, I want to say this real quick about the Xbox conference. You know why it was better than PlayStation 1? Because at least it didn't start off with GTA 5.
Oh my god! Oh man!
Oh my god!
That is true.
They didn't start off with a 5-year-old game.
And they actually showed a couple of games that were
Try 7.
Yeah, try 7.
Sorry.
7-year-old
Yeah,
game.
well, they actually did show some games that were true exclusives.
Yes.
From what I was seeing. Unlike the one DLC exclusive we got from the other one.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys
That's right. We
are
got the one exclusive. It's
Yeah.
not even a whole game. I'm not happy about that. It's a bad look, Sony.
Hey, yeah,
Wasn't there a rumor that we're going to show off some games today also? That was bullshit, right?
yeah, that was bullshit. Yeah, Danny, remember we were talking about it? It's like Sony might show something. They didn't show nothing. You know.
They didn't show anything. Yo, who's starting to do all these rumors like, oh, pre-order this today?
Fucking Craigslist. Those people on Craigslist, they talk a lot of shit, and people just take it at face value and they start spreading it.
Oh
But I
man.
tell you this, I think Sony will have something early August if they really want to start people to pre-order the console. You know, and people are gonna pre-order just because it's PlayStation. You know, but you know they could pre-order that dinosaur game, whatever. You know, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. My quick thoughts. I said this on Twitter. Basically, you know, I thought it wasn't like it didn't blow me away. Except Halo. Halo, I don't give a fuck. That looked awesome. I really liked Halo. But the show didn't blow me away. But the more I'm thinking about it, it was actually more balanced than the PlayStation one because the PlayStation one, the first quarter of it was dope. The last quarter was dope. That 50% in the middle put me to sleep. At least this one, like, you know, they sprinkled in some things here and there that kept you interested. You know, that was good. So, and like Aaron Greenberg said, he says, yo, we're going to give you an hour gameplay. We got an hour of gameplay. They didn't disappoint there. No filler, none of that stuff. You know, so
engine work, remember? That was
yeah, that was good. Yeah, but again, you know, and this is what I said about both systems. I'm still not seeing too much to like get me mega hyped, but this was good for what it was. You know, I don't know if it's going to convert anybody. That's still a question that's up there, but I do think Microsoft needs to do a little bit. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job of this, just to get that out there, but they need to get people that aren't aware of Game Pass, show them the benefits of Game Pass, because it is objectively a very good program. You know, you get a lot of games
Like
for
I
cheap.
said, you have to simplify the value stuff. You have to talk
have
about
to,
some
yeah.
concrete numbers. You know.
I mean, I know a lot of people.
Yeah, hold on. Brett, go ahead, man.
I know it's not a question show, but I'm very curious. After seeing this, does Microsoft has been branded in a very specific light. One of those is, you know, TV. The biggest thing I hear about Microsoft is, you know, we want the games. Show us the games. I know that it's an uphill battle because once that kind of thing is stuck in your head, it's really tough to just kind of, you know, brush off. But with this presentation and with Microsoft's attitude, has anybody's base opinion on Microsoft changed? Is it still that they just don't have any games or any kind of good library? Or, you know, the old things that used to bother you about Microsoft, after seeing how they're launching and what they're launching, do you still feel the same way you did the last generation?
That's going to give it to you. That's it. That's
Well,
it. They're pulling it. They're bringing it.
We're like, it's obviously like we know what they lacked this generation, and we talked about how it's a good thing that they're acquiring all these studios in-house, so in-house they can produce their own, you know, have their factory of games that only Xbox can provide. But we still haven't seen that into fruition. It's just a promise that we're expecting, and it's something that we can only answer once these games come out.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that essentially Microsoft has they've lost your faith, and they're open-minded to be proven wrong, but you have to be proven. You're not.
Well, it's not about losing faith. It's just, you know, like I mentioned, Xbox. The original Xbox was my console preference. The 360 was my console preference that generation. The PlayStation 4 was a console preference on this generation. It's just, you know, it just depends on what they're going to do next generation. That I can't really. I guess it's easier for me to say because I normally just get everything. I don't really, you know.
I mean,
I don't get one console per generation. So it's just for me. I can judge it with due time. I don't have to be a zealot and buy one console and have to defend it for the rest of the generation.
Oh, no. I'm not saying like exclusively buy it. Like, this is a question even more like directed at someone like you or me, who are, let's be fucking honest, we're gonna get both. It's just gonna fucking happen.
If that Lockhart is $200, I'm definitely gonna get that. Day one.
Yeah. So it's not so much. Are they better than Sony? Are you going to like them more than Sony? Is that, have they dispersed the stigma and the stink of last generation, or does it still follow them around like a Hindu who grabbed his pants? Like, is it just one of those? That's going to be
Did you say a Hindu?
I said a kid who crapped his
Oh,
pants.
my
Adam, come on, son.
No.
Yo, Adam, chill before you get into some trouble.
I'm not gonna lie, I heard the same thing as that.
Right? That's what I said.
Yeah.
Me
Like,
too.
We just
Yeah.
got demonetized. Though.
Yeah, we just got demonetized. Thank you. No, Brett, to answer your question, everything they've been doing has kind of, I'm not going to say changed my mind overall, but I'm happy with the direction Microsoft is going, because they can't do what they've been doing, try to compete with Sony. That's not going to work. So they're doing something else with Game Pass specifically, and then for me, I'm going to be playing all these games on PC anyway. I'm not missing out on nothing. Like I said, I don't really see the point of me personally, Damien, I know you're listening to the show, me personally buying the Series X, no point for me to buy it, but I will play all those Xbox games like Halo Infinite on my PC. I'm not missing out on none of this stuff,
Well, also, I think Microsoft has been consistent in their messaging for a few years now. Like Phil Spencer's done a good job
Yeah.
steering the ship back to games. Like the focus is on games and providing content and all that stuff. And Microsoft's strength as a company itself now is providing service, right? I always talk about when I do the financials that Azure is the biggest moneymaker for Microsoft right now, right? So
Yeah.
they have the capability to provide that service, and that they're leveraging that with Game Pass and xCloud and all that stuff. That's all part of their main bread and butter, So I think the stigma, the TV stigma, that was never their strength in the first place. That should have never been the messaging. I think that's pretty much forgotten at this point.
Yeah, that's in the past. Nobody cares about that anymore. It's just
Yeah,
dumb.
I was just curious 'cause the way I see it, Microsoft's biggest hurdle right now isn't necessarily, and I'm being abstract here, but it's not necessarily numbers or launch numbers or even that. It's about winning over the trust and faith of the community that they already broke trust and faith in. Like, I think that there are a lot of people kind of like me on the side of like, okay, you hurt me, baby. I'm not just running back into this, but I'll listen to what you have to say.
Hey, Brett,
and they kind of had to slowly get me there.
Brett, and like I mentioned this on shows before. Like I've had Xbox Live and /Xbox Live Gold /Game Pass Ultimate since 2004. And I still haven't broken that. So I guess, like, even for people who don't, didn't like what they did this generation, I still hold faith that they can
I didn't
deliver
walk
the next
away.
one.
I'm still there.
Yeah, I still have
Adam,
Xbox Live.
I got Xbox Live too.
I have had it since 06. Yeah.
So and I honestly I can't say that for I know I'm a different case than most people, but there are a decent amount of people who have an open mind with these kinds of things, and the fanboy talk is always going to be there, regardless of whether Microsoft is winning, PlayStation is winning, everyone's winning, or Nintendo is dominating. So yeah, so.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, man. I mean, now they added Xbox Live Gold now on Game Pass Ultimate. It's already there included, and Project X Cloud is included in there for all in there.
They
But I
need
have
to
to
push that narrative because I know that's a lot of people like, well, if I pay for Ultimate, then I need to spend the $60 for
it was
Xbox.
confusing.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't know. It's included.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm talking about. Like, they need to really clear that up because if people really understand what the value of Xbox Game Pass, it's going to be big,
lot.
Yeah.
No, they still got time. I mean,
they still got time. Yeah.
But I want to mention this.
You go ahead, bro.
Because August is going again. August is going to be an important month for PlayStation and Xbox. This is the last time both companies can convince people like, hey, look, we have these games. It's coming on this day for this price. If PlayStation doesn't show anything else, I hope they show at least one more launch title. Because if they're going to just depend on Spider-Man, Miles Morales, it's not looking good for Sony.
Yeah.
For launch. Long term is going to be good, but launch is not going to be good.
Honestly, if they do that, I'm a little insulted.
That's okay. But you
know, no, but Danny, go ahead, finish.
Yeah, my bad. But
No,
I just
you
want to
go.
finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
At least Halo seems like a good launch title, even if it's just that game and that's it. For first party, that's good.
Yeah, you know why, right? Because it's at least a brand new full game. Let's be honest here. Miles Morales is going to be a good game. No one's denying that, but it's going to be a smaller game. Let's just be honest here. You know,
10 to 15 hours.
15,
That's what-
yeah.
that's
You
what I
know
heard.
you're gonna get your money's worth with Halo. You know, Halo's gonna be a big game.
$10.99, have they said?
Yeah,
Is that going to be a full
Listen,
price?
yeah, no, they haven't said the price, but I think, and I didn't agree with this at first, but I agree with Emilio now. Yes, that's going to be $60. I guarantee you
They're
that,
gonna
which
charge
is
$60
bad.
for
Yeah,
that
which is sad, man.
That's
Yeah.
But
Well,
so
here's-
you
Go ahead.
know,
Here's the
time
thing.
doesn't matter.
Here's the thing: you're gonna launch. If this is going to be the only thing they got, and they're gonna launch it at a budget price, that ain't happening.
Yeah, no.
No, they're gonna charge you $60 for it. At
And
least.
also,
Go ahead, Brett.
And the other thing about Miles Morales is, I mean, again, I mean, they're saying it's around Lost Legacy length. Lost Legacy length is about 10 hours
Yeah,
long,
10, 15 hours. Yeah,
which is half the size of the current Spider-Man game. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's what they're saying.
yeah. Brett, go ahead, man.
How much they
yeah.
charge for that? Was it
Lost Legacy was $40. Yeah, $40 for Lost Legacy.
$40 is not bad for
That's
that.
not bad, but we talked about this before. It's the perception. Gamers think that because the game's $40, it's not a good game. It's stupid, but that's just how it is, you know.
they should charge $40 because it's not a full game.
No, I agree, but the thing is, they're going to charge 60.
But it's
And
also,
that's
Yeah.
okay, and there comes my problem. Like, if Sony actually comes out and doesn't show anything, they just Miles Morales is our launch game, and it's not even a game, and they're charging $60 for it. I think that's my line in the sand. Like, I love Sony. I'm going to continue buying the games. I have a love-hate relationship with both of them. Like, I'll be talking shit while I'm in line with the console in my hand. So it's one of those things. But like, man, if they come out and just say they're going to pay full price for basically a standalone DLC, and that's our launch for the new system, and you're going to fucking like it, I mean, that would be the proof that they're like, okay, old Sony's back. You can go fuck yourself with an iron stick.
but you said you're still going to be online buying it, so then they don't care if they're happy.
Yeah.
They like that comment.
They
right
got
there.
you. They
No,
got you.
That's when I say line in the sand. That'll be the difference between whether.
Oh, that'll be your line of sand. Got you. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Imagine
just
this.
out of principle, it's like I am not like normally. I'm gonna give the good grace. Like I've enjoyed my PlayStation for years. You guys haven't really steered me wrong. I've enjoyed my purchase, but I just can't. It's almost the principle of the thing. It's like a kick in the teeth. Like, you're just gonna take this and you're gonna fucking like it because you're in our ecosystem. No, fuck you.
You know what would have been better for Sony? They should have just announced the full game now for the reveal and save Miles Morales for like August. I think that would have been good. But pushing this as like, oh look, it's for a PlayStation 5 first. It's not a good sign for Sony in August, man. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting, man. But yeah. All right. Any last thoughts you guys want to throw in about the conference, Xbox?
For me, it didn't sell me on an Xbox. It just mean this conference, just like the Sony one, just means I just need to wait, because it's not. This is not. None of this is exciting. None of it is just. I mean, I'm glad that Microsoft has at least a cornerstone title on that's dropping on the on day and date. That's the one thing, but I'm like, at least for me, I'm not the biggest Halo fan. I think Halo games are fine, they're great, but at the same time, at least for me, it's not it has to be multiple things that will sell me on it. And so far, I'm seeing a lot of things like, yeah, okay, that's okay, but not enough for me to go and drop money for it on the first thing. And again, I've always said this before. I've never really bought a console day and date. Day and date. I think it's only the Dreamcast that I've ever done that on. But so
Look how that worked out.
Yeah, and it worked out because those were good games when they came out with. But anyway, I just hope to see something a little bit more, because if we're talking like, hey, this is the future, but you have to wait about 4 years, maybe I'll just wait 4 years and play a bunch of older games.
Yeah. By the way, you feel the exact same way about PlayStation, so it's not just an Xbox thing,
No, it's the same thing. I'm not buying that. Number one, like, yes, Miles Morales is, the Spider-Man Miles Morales game is a cool idea, but at the same time, it's not enough for me to go and invest in in that thing. No, I'm not gonna put no.
How sure are you that you're not gonna be able to play it on your actual PlayStation?
Oh well, it's going to be just for the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think they already pretty much confirmed.
They're locking that. They would be shooting themselves in the fucking foot if that was on the previous console. No,
Okay, so,
way they're ever doing that.
So I just want to make sure that I'm getting it straight. So Sony releases a game, and then essentially the standalone DLC is locked behind the next generation. So I can't even get the full Spider-Man
It's
experience
not.
that I paid for.
It-
If I pay more, I have to pay. But
It's
the
not
price
a
of the
DLC.
console.
It's not a DLC.
It's not-
It's a game.
It's not a full fucking game. It's a partial game. It's a continuation. Yeah,
no,
it-
it's standalone. You can play that game without needing the other one.
So you
Yes.
can do that with Far Cry. You can do that with Far Cry 2. And those are DLCs. Go look at Far Cry. Look at the game modes that they put out, and tell me that it's not the same thing as what Miles Morales is.
When you're saying DLC, like what do you mean? Because DLC, like fucking.
I know what he means. He's talking about a game that's a DLC price. DLC length. That's what he's talking about. But guys, we're going down the fucking rabbit hole. We're not going to do that because I want to start wrapping this up. Danny, I want to thank you for being on tonight, man. Please plug your stuff, man. Where can we find you? What can they look forward to? All that.
Yeah, just search for Gamertag Radio anywhere. If any podcast app, we're there. And yeah, follow me, Godfrey, on Twitter, man. I'm very active over there, man. So yeah, and yeah, hit me up. Let me know if you agree, disagree. I'm ready to throw down.
Yeah, man. You already know, man. Good stuff, man. All right. I don't have my show notes here. I'm just gonna wing it here. I want to thank everybody for checking us out as always. Another good show. We're getting close to 300, man. It's coming soon, September 3rd for Throwdown, and then September 6th for Throwdown Your Question. So it's gonna be very big, man. And I want to give a shout out to Jolly Yellow, who won our Ghost of Tsushima contest. Thanks to you, Danny. He was a fan of Gamertag Radio. I was on your show. He was like, "Hey, I like this Tony guy. Let me check out his show." He became a fan of Throwdown. So that is so cool when he put out that video. So shout out to him. That was amazing, man.
That's how we gotta cross promote, man. Help each other out. Man.
That's what it's all about. And I'm gonna say this right now, Danny. I'll tell you off air. We got a big contest coming soon, man. I'm just saying we were talking about next gen. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna give some big away.
The dinosaur game.
The dinosaur.
game.
Damn it! Danny blew up the spot. God damn it! All right, let's wrap it up, man. So thank you guys for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys, and don't forget to pick up Excellence. We got coming up with a new issue that's coming out next month, and we did a little bit of Comic-Con stuff this week. This weekend, or was it last weekend? I can't remember. Anyway, we did a little bit of that. I was on, go check that out. We did some interviews, talked about Excellence, talking about a bunch of the creators who worked on it. It's good stuff. So yeah,
awesome. Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Deuces.
Adam Vale.
Yeah, have a good week, everybody. And check out over at the Coalition. We got a bunch of stuff we're doing for the Pretending on Superman, the Tony Hawk documentary. So we have a lot of interviews and things going up for that. That's coming out in August, so that should be good.
Nice. Brett Murdoch.
As always, it's been real.
Brian Monjoma.
How long before we get another Burnout game?
Oh man, don't get me started, bro. Don't
Next
get me
week,
started.
next week, bro.
And of
Start
course,
holding your breath now.
and of course, Mr. Danny Peña.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to you guys for inviting me, and sorry for the background crazy noise here. It's New York City. That's how it is over here.
Yep, that's how it is, man. All right, man. We'll see you guys around. Peace out.
Deuces.
Peace.
later.
Laters.